a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Benidorm TV series. Benidorm is a British sitcom written by Derren Litten and produced by Tiger Aspect for ITV. The series features an ensemble cast of holidaymakers and staff at the Solana all-inclusive hotel in Benidorm, Spain. The show first aired on the 1st of February 2007. Critically acclaimed, Benidorm has received 2 National Television Awards and nominations at the British Comedy Awards and BAFTAs. Benidorm has currently aired 9 series, with Series 10 airing from the 28th of February 2018. An 11th series has not yet been commissioned. On the 31st of July 2017, writer Derren Litten confirmed that he is due to begin writing a stage adaptation of the show. Series 1, 2007. Series 1 introduced the main characters, the Garvey family, parents Mick and Janice, teenage daughter Chantel, and 7-year-old son Michael. They are on their first holiday abroad, paid for by Janice's mother, the sun-worshipping, chain-smoking Madge, who doesn't have a kind word for anyone. Jacqueline and Donald have been coming to Benidorm for 20 years and are enthusiastic, middle-aged swingers. Kate and Martin Weed are now going through a rough patch during their 3rd year of marriage. Within seconds of arriving, they realize that the Solana is the worst place for them to make a fresh start. Jeff Maltby, who calls himself the Oracle, has an irritating computer-like knowledge of trivia. He claims to be the Lancashire pub quiz champion, and is prone to fits of competitive behavior. He has always come on holiday with his mother, Noreen. Gavin and Troy are on their first holiday together after setting up a successful hair salon. They consider themselves superior to the other guests, but are happy enough to get drunk and snigger at them. Later in the series, their relationship hits rock bottom when Troy is caught with another series regular. Also introduced in Series 1 are barman Mateo, who flirts with anything that breathes, and Janie, the hotel manager and cabaret MC at Neptune's bar. Guest cast members include Ella Kenyon, playing a fake fee collector, conning the Garveys out of money at the beach, but is caught when she turns up at Neptune's, and Nikki Wardley, playing Kelly, Mateo's ex-lover. Series 2, 2008. Series 2 was broadcast in April 2008 and saw all the main characters from Series 1 return to the Solana resort for 8 new episodes. However, there were 2 new arrivals for the Garvey family: Mel, the owner of 5 sunbed shops, and Di Deesbury's answer to Julio Iglesias, plus 17-year-old Chantel's new baby. Nikki Wardley returned as Kelly, this time with her mother Sylvia, who was a wheelchair-riding love rival. For Madge, Margie Clark made a brief appearance as Dorothy, Gavin's estranged mother, and Elliot Jordan played Jack, a British bar owner in whom Janice found temptation. Summer Special, 2009. Benidorm returned for a 1-hour summer special which featured all the regular cast plus Jack and a wanted murderer named Enrique. Starting with a recap of Mel and Madge's wedding, the main plotline involved the abduction of Janice and Madge by Enrique, and the hostage-taking of them, Mick, Donald, and Gavin, leading to a helicopter rescue from the Solana rooftop. The crew took the opportunity to shoot some aerial footage of Benidorm from the helicopter, used as scene bridges in subsequent episodes. Series 3, 2009. With ratings rising, Series 3 followed in October in a new 45-minute format. It was set 1 year after the summer special, as the holidaymakers took up the offer of a free holiday given to them by the Solana resort. The regulars from Series 2 returned, but this time Martin did not bring Kate. Instead, he brought mischievous Brandy, who was not all she seemed. The featuring of well-known guest stars was becoming something of a tradition, with Keith Barron playing a very English deputy mayor, Tim Healy playing Jeff's transvestite blind date Leslie, Robin Asquith playing Gary, a conman and a thief who was revealed as Brandy's lover, and Una Stubbs making an appearance in the final episode as Martin's mother Diana. Cast regular Kate made her only Series 3 appearance in the same episode, flying out to help Martin in the aftermath of a mass robbery by Gary and Brandy. It was later revealed she was seeing someone else, dashing Martin's hopes for a reconciliation. Stuart McGugan played Donald's practical joking friend Wink, who electrocuted himself to death on stage at Neptune's, and Lorraine Bruce appeared as one of Madge's estranged daughters. By the end of Series 3 the show was regularly attracting 6 million viewers, and had won 2 national TV awards and been nominated for both a BAFTA and a British Comedy Award. Series 4 was commissioned a few days after Series 3 finished airing. Christmas Special, 2010. As filming was just about to begin on the new Christmas special that would precede the 4th series, the production was thrown into chaos. Jeffrey Hutchings, who played Mel, died suddenly from a suspected viral infection. As a result of his untimely death, the scripts had to be heavily rewritten, and the storyline became that Mel had died off-screen on a business trip abroad. Johnny Vegas, Paul Beasley, Hannah Hobley, Abigail Cruttenden, and Nicholas Burns all did not return. The Christmas special, however, aired on Boxing Day 2010 and had some special guests including Marvin, who was a member of the Middlesbrough Swingers Association, and Sue Pollard played herself as a guest star. Tim Healy returned as Leslie, this time working for Mel and directing the Garveys to Madge's villa. Asa Elliott made a small appearance singing for the Benidorm Palace. Roy Wood made a brief appearance at the end of the special singing their big hit, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, which played as the Garveys received news of Mel's death. Brian Murphy appeared as Noreen's love interest Clive Mitchell. He proposed to her, but did not return in Series 4. Series 4, 2011. A number of new characters were created for Series 4 to fill out the cast list again. Following his guest appearances in Series 3, Tim Healy became a full-time cast member as Barman Lay, with his son Liam tagging along to Benidorm for a cheap holiday. A whiff of a Benidorm holiday romance was soon in the air for Liam, as he took an immediate shine to new girl Natalie, but her friend Sam has other ideas on their potential romance. Gavin was given a new holiday companion, Kenneth. Plus, Noreen brought her stressed-out daughter Pauline on holiday in place of Jeff. Pauline, having spent the past few years in South Africa with her husband, but now going through a messy divorce, is irritable and doesn't make friends easily, and later throughout the series became an alcoholic, which annoyed and upset some of the regulars returning characters. For the 4th series included the Garvey family, who start the series embroiled in a typical Garvey holiday disaster. Meanwhile, the legendary Middlesbrough Swingers Association lost its 2 most popular members for the summer as Benidorm once again welcomed back Donald and Jacqueline. Hotel staff Matteo and Janie continued to watch on through it all as the holiday chaos unfolds around them. There were a few special appearances such as Lucky Kev, who appeared in a number of episodes, and there were one-off appearances. Cilla Black playing herself, but now living in Madge's previous villa, and Scary Mary and Mr. Pink, both Madge's enemies and looking for her to pay up her debts. Michael Fenton Stevens made a brief appearance on the last episode playing the head of the British consulate. Ian Reddington made an appearance as Johnny Neptune, who was an old flame of Janice Garvey and friend of Janie. This was the last series to feature Janie, the old manager, as a regular character. She returned for 1 episode in Series 5 and 2 episodes in Series 7. The last episode of the series saw the last appearance of Troy until Series 8 in January 2016. The character was making the holiday after his father died in the USA. Series 5, 2012. Litten, the writer, claimed at the end of the previous series that he was not willing to write any more episodes. However, due to high viewing rates and public reaction, Litten agreed to write another series and continue with the show. Janie York only returned briefly in this series, but not as manageress of the Solana. A new manageress, Joyce Temple Savage, was taken on. Mick, Janice, Michael and Madge all returned for another holiday. Jacqueline and Donald also returned following their false insurance claim. Kenneth is now a Benidorm businessman with his popular new hair salon based at the Solana resort and a new colleague, Carmen. Gavin flies out to join him on holiday, but without Troy. The couple had previously had an argument and temporarily separated. Noreen was back to the resort and flying solo without her son or daughter for the first time, whilst Liam was now a caretaker at the Solana. Meanwhile, Sam returned with new Liverpudlian friend in tow, Trudy. Asa Elliott reprised his role since the Christmas special, now regularly appearing as the singer in Neptune's bar. Elliot Jordan reprised his role as Jack briefly, only this time he was revealed to be Liam's new flatmate and made a failed attempt to get with Janice Garvey. Michael Fenton Stevens reprised his role as a member of the British consulate to help Donald and Jacqueline. This was the first and only series to feature Trudy, and it was the last time Sam featured until Series 9. This was also the last series to feature Gavin. Series 6, 2014. A new family was added to the show at this point. The Dykes, a lively family from Watford, consist of Father Clive firmly under the thumb of his no-nonsense wife Tonya. Both bring their son Tiger with them, and further in the series, their daughter Bianca shows up, claiming that her rich boyfriend dumped her while they were holidaying in the Maldives. Both Tiger and Bianca are young, single and looking for fun. Returning to enjoy the newly announced 4-star hotel treatment are Mick and Janice Garvey, with acid-tongued Madge not far behind. The Garveys also brought Michael, their son, with them again, who has now grown into an adventurous teenager. With Michael and Tiger off on trouble-making adventures around the resort, it isn't long before the Dykes and the Garveys begin to argue. Other favorites returning to the Solana resort include popular swingers Donald and Jacqueline Stewart, who intended to claim their free holiday that manageress Joyce Temple Savage promised them at the end of the last series. Mateo and Leslie are still working at the hotel. However, Liam is now working with Kenneth at his blow-and-go salon, the very discreet and selective hair and beauty emporium within the Solana resort. Series 6 also saw the return of Martin Whedon, who arrives on a loud and drunken stag do of his rich friend. This time he's very single and finds himself having a drunken encounter with one of the known female holidaymakers. The Stewarts, the Garveys, and Mateo are the only original cast left. Returning guest stars include Matthew Kelly returning as Cyril Babcock, a former dance prodigy and teacher who was living rough in Benidorm. He was subsequently made into assistant manager. Elliot Jordan returns to play Jack. He plays a practical joke on Michael and Tiger, which leads to Michael punching him in the face. Asa Elliott made further guest appearances in Neptunes. Guest stars include Ken Morley playing the head of a local hairdressing mafia and Kenneth's uncle, Philip Olivier as Jason, a sexy new barman. Also featured in the series are the Crankies and Rusty Lee appearing as friends of swingers Donald and Jacqueline. Legendary Hollywood star Joan Collins arrives as Crystal Hennessy Vass, the CEO of the Solana Hotel Group, and also Joyce's high-maintenance boss, Janet Street Porter, making a cameo appearance as a news reporter, and Holly Earl, who plays a local girl called Elena, catching the eye of Michael Garvey and Tiger Dyke. It is revealed that she likes Michael more than Tiger, who is reluctant to accept this and attempts to steal Elena from Michael. Series 6 was the first since Series 1 to air on Thursdays. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like